So I'm just starting to get hang of you. Computers are fucking complicated, aren't they? Basic computers are fucking complicated. It's half an hour to load a program. Very clever though. I mean, this internet thing's very clever because you can actually say something and it gets published. I'm Bill. Anyway. I've just been watching this Monty Python reunion concert, and I've been watching Monty Python. Fucking brilliant. Fucking great. Fucking greatest show. That's the greatest Monty Python show I have ever seen. Now I've seen I used to watch the TV show Monty Python. And Monty Python, hilarious, fucking great. I watched the stage show, magnificent, absolutely magnificent. That Monty Python, the stage show, is my camera a bit wonky? The camera might be a bit wonky. But no, the stage show, the Monty Python, is fucking amazing, brilliant. Now, what you got to do is you got to employ the Pythons to do another series. With original series. Carry on with Monty Python's Flying Circus. How old are they? 60, 70? What? 70 something. You got another 20 years ahead of you guys. Pythons. You ever heard of George Burns? George Burns. Do you remember? Does anybody remember George Burns? What am I going to do? Set myself on fire? Does anybody actually remember George Burns? You ever heard of George Burns? You know how old George Burns was when he retired? When George Burns retired, how old was he? Well, he dropped down dead when he was about 92 years old. He got to 92 or 93. I think it was about 92 actually, George Burns died. And he was still performing when he died, you know. Well, before he died, you know. But George Burns, he was a funny guy. Look it up. You're on YouTube already, aren't you? So if you want to know who George Burns is, you can actually quite look it up on YouTube. Actually, you can. Anytime you like. If you want to know who... You're on YouTube, aren't you, now? Because this is a YouTube channel. So I'll tell you what. After this film, what you can do is look up George Burns. How old was George Burns when he died? About 92? Yeah. How old are the Pythons? 70, 71, 72. You got another 20 years, guys. Pythons were magic. That show was absolute pure magic. That Python show you did. In 2014, about 13. I don't know what year, this year, when it forward. Monty Python Mostly Live. That show. That's fucking magnificent. That's beautiful, man. That's the most beautiful Python show I have ever seen. Monty Python Mostly Live. Have you seen it? Fucking brilliant. Absolutely fucking amazing. Just thinking, you know, you could carry on for another 20 odd years, man. You guys are funny together. You're fucking funny. But what about if Basil Fawlty opened up a retirement home? I'm thinking of, you know, television shows. I don't like them. I just have ideas. I'm thinking, what if Basil Fawlty opened up a retirement home? You know Basil Fawlty, okay? You heard of, you know John Cleese, Basil Fawlty. You know Basil Fawlty, he had a hotel, didn't he? In the 1980s, or 70s, I think it was, probably. Probably the 1970s, Basil Fawlty had this hotel. Now it's 2014, isn't it? It's 2014. What if Basil Fawlty opened up a retirement home? Last time, Basil Fawlty... Well, John, you could have to write it yourself. I said, John Cleese, you're going to have to write it yourself. I just got an idea. You know how Basil Fawlty used to have a hotel? 2014. What if Basil Fawlty had a retirement home? What if Basil Fawlty owned a retirement home? You know, sort of one of these sort of like welfare things. You know? I was talking about that actually. I was thinking about that yesterday. How generous people are with this Remembrance Day. You know, it's Remembrance Day. It's Poppy Day, isn't it? Or something like that. Poppy Day, isn't it? How generous you are. Hey? Have you ever wondered? Here's the truth. Did you know every year your government, I said every year your government sends soldiers off to Iraq, Iran and Afghanistan to stop these Muslim fanatics, most of whom are on our own streets, right? And what I'm saying is you have this Poppy Day, don't you, every year. Every year, every day, the government sends soldiers to Afghanistan, and they send soldiers off to Iraq, and they send soldiers off to Iraq. And basically the Middle East, like. And they blow the arms off the soldiers, right? They got bombed. And all these soldiers come back with their arms missing, you know. They come back with their arms missing or their legs missing. They come home, they go out to fight for the government, because the government who actually employs the soldiers. And the government sends the soldiers off to Iraq or Iran or wherever, Afghanistan, stuff like that. And they get their legs, I don't know, it's been in the news a bit, I don't know if you've noticed it, it's been in the news a bit. And they get their arms and legs blown off, right? So you have this help for heroes. Because the soldiers come back without their arms or legs. And they have to rely upon charity. Don't you think that is wrong? Seriously, honest to God, don't you think that is a little bit wrong? The soldiers get sent to Afghanistan or Iraq to get rid of these Muslim fanatics or whatever. And they get their arms chopped off, or they get bombed and they lose their legs. It's been a lot in television for the last 10 years. They get their arms and legs blown off by these bombs or whatever. And then they have to come back to Britain. They come back to Britain. And you know what? Then they have to rely upon charity. I hate charity. Do I have to tell you that I hate charity? Oh, it helps me. But I hate charity. The government sends all your soldiers off to the Middle East to kill these terrorists or whatever, who are actually on the streets of London or whatever, you know. And then, when the soldiers come back and they've got one arm or both their legs missing, they have to rely upon charity, like this Help for Heroes. Do you really honestly believe that the government gives a fuck about the army? About your lives? Do you really believe that the government gives a fuck about your lives? Be honest. You come back from war. You get your legs and arms chopped off. And then you have to rely upon this Help for Heroes charity. Now, Help for Heroes would give money to disabled soldiers and as a charity. Don't you think that's a bit sick? Don't you think it is a little bit sick when disabled soldiers have to rely upon charity? Don't you think that is just a little bit sick in the head when your disabled soldiers have to rely upon charity? Because the government will not look after the people. The government do not give a fuck about the people. The government just want to control the people. I'm saying, I'm saying these fucking, poor blokes, you know, these teenagers, basically, they're so stupid. They go off to fight in Iraq and Iran and all that. And they get their legs and their arms blown off. And they come back. And then they have to rely upon charity. Because the government do not give a fuck about the people. The government do not give a fucking damn about the people. They do not like the people. They don't even look after their own soldiers. They wait for the soldiers rely upon charity. You know what I mean? They get their legs and arms blown off. And then when they come back home, they have to rely upon fucking charity. What I am saying is that charity is not the people's job. Charity is the government's job. Charity is the job of a government. Superhero. Ha, nah, zero. Billy Zero. Don't know anything about it. But anyway, it's the responsibility of a government to look after the people. It is the responsibility of a government to house the people. It is the responsibility of a government to feed the people. Why do soldiers go off to war and they come back with their arms and legs missing? You know, they've lost their arms, they've lost their legs, and they have to rely upon charity. Because the government do not give a damn about the soldiers. I know they're pretty stupid. But the government do not give a damn about the soldiers. They get their arms and legs blown off. And then they come back to Britain. And they have to rely upon charity. Help for heroes. You know, help for heroes. And they have to rely upon charity. What is the fucking government doing? And then they fucking have this Remembrance Day every year. Yeah, I remember the dead. They always come back to life eventually, believe it or not. I've got two grandmothers. I've only ever had two grandmothers. I've got two grandmothers. Would you believe me if I told you my grandmothers died? But now, my grandmothers are my nieces. Phoebe and Amelia. Did you know that my fucking nieces, blood nieces, because I'm gay, you see, because I don't have children. Fact is, I'm queer. I'm gay. I don't have children. I don't make people. You see, maybe you're getting me confused with somebody. But my brothers make people. I don't make people. My brothers make people. But my nanas, my grandmothers died, you know, of old age. Basically, they died of old age. And my nieces, I've got two nieces, Millie and Phoebe. And you know, my nieces are in fact my grandmothers. About blood. I don't make the blood, actually. I'm the queer one of the family. Did you know, the funny thing is, actually, when I was going out with Mikey, I don't suppose you know Mikey. Mikey was my boyfriend for quite a long time. So Mikey was my boyfriend. I'll show you some of the video. You have to get a video to watch Mikey. But the truth is, it's like my big brother Jim, he had two kids, Thomas and Daniel, you see. And Thomas and Daniel, they used to call my boyfriend Auntie Mikey. Auntie Mikey. It's true. But when my nephews were little children, little kids, they used to call my boyfriend Auntie Mike. I'll tell you something about Auntie Mikey later. I don't know if I've got it. I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. That's right. Anyway, yeah, I'm just saying, you sort of like, you know, you wait, soldiers come back from Afghanistan, like, with their legs missing, or their arms missing. And the government expects the people to pay for it. Help the heroes. Help the heroes. Help the heroes. Hang on, the government sent these fucking soldiers off to Afghanistan. The government sent these fucking soldiers off to Afghanistan. And then their legs and their arms blown off. And they come back to Britain. They come back to Britain. And the government say, fuck you, and don't give a damn. And then these fucking soldiers have to rely upon charity. Help for heroes, you know. Remembrance Day. Give the poppies away. If you want a real Remembrance Day, then don't beg for charity. So do not beg for charity to get a poppy. To get a fucking poppy. Do not beg for fucking charity. Give the poppies away. I'm saying you give the poppies away. It's never been about money. Because they were relying on charity. Okay? You fought in a war? Thanks a lot. Was it the right war? Yeah. But anyway, apparently there's been. I've been reading the newspapers, and some people they've been cutting off heads. I've noticed it in newspapers. There's this fucking weirdo who's cutting off people's heads, saying it's Muslim, it's God's law. You cut off people's heads. It was in the newspapers. In the fucking newspapers. Weird fucking cunts. Do you let that happen? I'm not religious. Right. Would you believe me if I told you that I'm only 4 out of 5? Number 4. Truth. Here's the truth. What would you do if I said I am number 4 out of 5? Would you believe me if I told you that I am number 4 out of 5? See, there's 5 of us. You know why you have 5 fingers? Have you ever wondered why you have 5 fingers? X-Men bit. Right, fair enough. You ever wonder why I have 5 fingers? We don't. You have 4 fingers and a thumb. A thumb. I remember when I was born, I had a big sister. Well, only one sister. Jackie. Do you remember Jackie? Do you know Jackie? She was like our thumb. She was like our big thumb. Jackie controlled all of us. She was the boss. Jackie was the firstborn of our generation. Of my generation. About my generation. Jackie was the first. Then there was James. Well, you do your Bible bit, I'll do my hand bit. Alright? You do your fucking Bible bit, I'll do my hand bit. First, Mummy and Daddy. And that's Donald Stewart Bailey and Patricia Gladys Brackenbury. Actually, yeah, Mummy was a Brackenbury first. Because they couldn't get married. Because Nana Brack didn't want Mum and Dad to get married. Because he was a sailor. My dad is a sailor, you see. Bit naughty. 1958. Do you remember 1958? It was my dad's birthday, actually. Because if you count from March to April and May, you know, you got the 9 months. But actually, it was on my daddy's birthday. Daddy fucked my mummy. They're very naughty. It was 1958, actually. It was 1958. Yes, definitely. It was my dad's birthday, probably. How it all began. On my daddy's birthday, my daddy is a sailor. So my dad is a fucking sailor. True story. On my daddy's birthday, I think my mummy might have let him fuck her. I think my daddy fucked my mummy, probably on his birthday. I don't know the whole story. I'm just making off. I'm just working out from time. Working out from time. Saying probably it was probably on my daddy's birthday. It was probably on my daddy's birthday that he fucked my mummy. I think my daddy fucked my mummy on my daddy's birthday. You see. And 9 months later, Jackie was born. You see, but they couldn't get married. You see, mummy and daddy couldn't get married. 1958, long time ago. 1958, mummy and daddy could not get married because of the law. Because of the law, they had to wait until my mummy was 21. You see, naughty daddy. My naughty daddy, naughty man. He fucked my mum when she was 20. He did. I tell you the truth. My daddy fucked my mum when she was 20. Oh, 20 years old. This is the truth, the old days. Even he was 20. Is that old enough? Funny though, isn't it? Anyway, 9 months later, Jackie was born. 9 months later, my big sister was born. Because mummy and daddy were a bit naughty. Because they probably had sex on my dad's birthday. Probably my dad's birthday, actually. And they had sex. And Jackie, my mummy got pregnant. Mummy got pregnant. Anyway, they got married the day after Mum's 21st birthday, you see. This is 1958. You got to think, 1958. It was only legal to get married when you were 21. In 1958. So there was my mum and dad. Right, Mum's 21st birthday. Right, the day after my mum and dad's 21st birthday. That's when they got married because it was legal. Because my mummy was 21. Because my mummy, she got to her 21st birthday, right? And then they got married the day after. Because once you're 21, you're an adult. But apparently you've got to wait until you're 21 to be an adult. But anyway, they got married on the day after my mummy's birthday. It's lovely, romantic. It's beautiful, more beautiful. Romeo and Juliet. But anyway, what I'm saying is my mummy and daddy had to wait until my mummy was 21. And then they got married. My mum was 4 months pregnant. Anyway, Jackie was born in 1958. She's dead now. She died with a blood clot in her brain about 2 years ago, 2012. Jackie was our big sister. Well, is our big sister. Jackie actually died in 2012 with a blood clot in her brain. Because that's how we invented hands. Look at that. That's my mum and dad's invention. Because there's Jackie is our thumb. She was our thumb all our lives. Our boss. She was fucking boss. Our Jackie was fucking beautiful. Anyway, there's James. Then there was James. Jim. That's the big finger. You see, Jim was born in 61. This is why we have 5 fingers, you see. Why you have 5 fingers. Jim was born in 61. He's the jack of clubs. He's got Tommy and Pat. There's Robert. He's got Phoebe. Robert was born in 65. William. I'm only William. I am still William. I was born in 1966. Just sort of like 1 year after Robert, you know. Because there was Jackie. Jackie's our thumb. And there's James. Mum and dad's invention. And then there's James. And there's Robert. And then there's me, William. And then there's Donald. You see, then there's Donald. So that makes the 5 fingers. Just there's Jackie, James, Robert, William, Donald. So we're only 5 fingers. Anyway, this is getting a bit too deep for you, isn't it? You're drowning in the Atlantic. I'll probably have to go for a pee. Anyway, you won't believe a word of anything I say, so. Knock, knock. Who's there? A Roman. Well, why the fuck are you nailing fucking nails into my hat? I don't know, I'm pissed off. I don't know, I'm not really doing nothing tonight. I'm very lonely, actually. Alright, truth. Alright, truth. Let's finish the fucking bit. Truth. I want to go to the toilet. Right, I've very little that's right. But I'm very lonely. I mean, I don't know what date it is yet. I don't know where my fucking phone is. Phone. Where's my fucking phone? I lost my fucking telephone. I have. Fucking lost my telephone. Talking to. Yeah, I've got to finish this film. I've lost my telephone. That's right.